Really sure why I'm making this video. It's so very different from all my other content, and it's not really something I see myself doing in the future, but I mean, who knows, maybe I'll become a figure review channel. Anyway, I'm going to be reviewing the Danganronpa 1.2 Reload Nagito Komaeda 10th anniversary figure by Union Creative. I don't really know much about Union Creative, and looking online, it seems they mostly specialize in girl figures. But I do know this isn't their first dabble in the Danganronpa series, as they have made figures of Shuichi and Kokichi before, both of which I feel have a certain uncanniness to them. General consensus online from what I can see is that they're aggressively mediocre. They either hit the figure spot on or it's very lackluster, almost prize figure quality, which for many is very disappointing since you're paying a small premium price. But I decided to give it a go, only because Nagito is my favorite character in all of Danganronpa, and currently the only merch I own is this Hajime Gashapon figure that lost its strap. Now, despite being one of the most popular characters in the entire franchise, Nagito hasn't had many great figures. Not to say that other characters haven't gotten shafted in figure form. Well, if they even got figures to begin with. But I always feel like Nagito has gotten very dull figures compared to other popular characters, so I suppose it's time to unbox this guy. I got mine from AmiAmi. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with them, it's just my go-to place for figures these days. And they come with these cute monthly illustrations, and I think that's such a nice touch. I don't feel like a lot of other companies do things like that. And here it is. And I gotta say, right off the bat, I'm really liking it. The face sculpt is pretty good. It's definitely clear that it's Nagito. I'm not seeing any immediate quality control errors, which is always a good thing when examining your figure. Although when you look closer, you can see tiny amounts of paint splotches where the black and white of the coat meet. The outfit is really the star of the figure, matching the original 10th anniversary illustration quite nicely while throwing in a tiny addition which I'll talk about in just a second. The sleeves feature the design normally seen on his t-shirt, painted to look very clean with a nice touch of splotchiness to it. The belt is painted in a metallic silver instead of the original black buckle, and the generic lapel chain pin has been replaced with a square pin featuring the 55 or SS that's normally featured on the back of Nagito's jacket. A very nice addition in my mind. The hair is a very nice but subtle gradient of white to pale pinkish color near the tips. It's kind of hard to see on my video, which I apologize for, but I promise it's there. I do like that they kept the hair matte and didn't make it pearlescent like the Kotobukiya figure, which is actually something I very much dislike about that one. The base isn't really anything to write home about. In fact, it's probably the blandest part of the figure. Just a round clear disc, which I suppose you could argue is though that more attention is brought to the figure itself, but for a 10th anniversary figure, I feel like they could at the very least put the logo there. Definitely a bit of a disappointment overall. The figure is approximately 19 centimeters tall without the base, so a pretty decent size I'd say. And for those of you who use the Imperial system, I'm sorry, that's gotta suck for you, bro. Here he is next to my Mega House Legoshi, my Nendoroid Kakyoin, and my Grandista Manga Vegeta. And here he is next to my Gacha Hajime. And this comparison also properly visualizes my love for each of these characters. So I think Nagito is going to fit in very nicely with the rest of my figures. Because I'm a giant nerd, please help me. Overall, I think it's a pretty good figure, especially for the price that I paid for it. I'm very happy to finally have something of my favorite lucky student. If I had to give it a rating, I'd say it's probably somewhere of a 7 out of 10. Good, but still lacking those small details to push it into a great category. But if you like Nagito, I definitely recommend getting this figure. And that's really all my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching, and I hope I've steered off your boredom for a few minutes. See ya.